Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you and close out the month of August. Oh my goodness, August. What a month. Highs, lows, ups, downs, ins, outs, overspending. I got it all. So we are going to close out our weekly check-in on week 5, even though it's it was actually the last 7 days of the month, because I do weekly check-ins from a Friday to Thursday, and it just happened to fall in line. So I did a 5-week month this month. I always do a 5-week month, but usually it's only 2 or 3 days for the last little bit when I close out my month. So that's how I do that. And then we're going to take those numbers from the weekly check-in, total them all together. I already have them written off to the side, so we don't have to worry about that. But we're going to put them over here in Paycheck 3, do the numbers here, and close out Paycheck 3, which will officially close out the month of August. And then I will show you how it looks on my monthly page, how the month closed out as well. And I actually had some hiccups along the way, something I forgot about as I was doing my paycheck to paycheck budgeting, where I didn't include certain things, but I did include it in monthly, and I've spent the past few hours trying to figure out what I did wrong. So I won't take you through that mess. I didn't record any of that, but I will show you the adjustments I made, because I know exactly to the penny what is in my checking account right now, because I've already made the payment to the credit card for all the spending that we did, and I know so I know the balance, and I could take that balance and write it down here. And then tomorrow, on the 1st of September, which I'm recording this on August 31st, on the 1st of September, my husband's first of the month checks hit the bank, and I take that money and use that for September, and I will transfer what was left of August tomorrow into savings. So that is what we're figuring out today. I leave August money in August and use that to spend. Anything left over goes into savings, and then only September's money will be in the bank account for September to use, and we are good to go there. Whew, that was a mouthful. So let's go ahead and get started working out this weekly check-in. Okay, I've zoomed in a little bit, not very much, on my monthly calendar that I use for my spending categories. I have 6 categories. If you're new here, I do use Sara Marie stickers for all my budgeting stickers. I will be using hers until the end of the year, and then deciding whether I want to start making my own. I'm working on that next year, or use hers. I'm trying to make some transitions here and save a little bit of money, because in a couple, I say 2.5 years, 3 years, my husband will be downsizing his job basically and not be getting paid as much. But I still want to enjoy decorative planning, and so I am teaching myself how to do my own stickers, and I'm excited about that. I've had 2 no spend days this week. I didn't spend yesterday, and I don't have to spend today, so I'm very happy with that, because I have spent a lot. I did make note on the 10th through the 17th. I had to hold it on the credit card and not pay it that week, and then I paid it with the next Paycheck 3, which worked out fine, and I was good to go. So I checked that off. Now we're going to check off what I spent this week, and yeah, we had a good time this week. Went driving to see my father-in-law, went out to eat that day, brought in lunch basically and stuff like that, and came home same night. He lives a couple hours away, so that was a good trip. And let's see, I wonder if I can zoom in just a little bit more here. And I was so busy, I forgot to write down these transactions here on my notepad. So I'm going to do this as we walk through this, and I'm going to write these things down. Grocery household, as we are looking at these, is my first category. Oops, I do this every time. I've been filling out paperwork, and I'm about to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork here soon. And yeah, I keep writing the wrong letters down. Okay, grocery household. I combine both categories together: grocery, more food that you eat, and then household items that you buy at the grocery store, into one category, and give myself a large sum in order to cover that cost. So on the 25th, we had $61.41. On this day, I bought like 3 packages of chicken, 2 1-pound packages of ground beef, and I also bought like a rack of ribs my husband wants to fix on the grill this weekend. It is Labor Day weekend, and we're excited about that, so we're just going to have at home, really nice fun dinner and just kind of hang out with the neighborhood and our family here at home, and that should be a lot of fun. I assume the weather's good. It's a gray day today, but I think it's going to be sunny this weekend, so we're good there. We've had some really nice cooler weather past couple days, so and I have been thinking about and praying for those that had to go through the hurricanes in Florida and as it goes up the coast, and for North Carolina, Virginia, and all those areas. Have not heard much from my family that lives in those areas as far as needing to evacuate or anything like that, so hopefully everything goes well and there's not a lot of property damage. The next thing I have for grocery household is, this is a snack BP. We stopped at a gas station basically. So on Saturday we drove to my father-in-law's. His birthday was on Wednesday and we couldn't make it during the week. But we could come down that Saturday after his birthday and say happy birthday, and we brought him lunch and talked and just had a really good time. We stopped and on the way out of town back to our house, which is 2 hours from where he lives, and picked up drinks and snacks and stuff from the gas station to hold us over until we got home, because we didn't really want to go out and get a big meal or anything like that. And it was already getting dark by the time we left. And I just wanted to get home. The next one I have here, I would not have gone to the store, but I had to. $7.82. I believe I got a can of biscuits, 2 dozen eggs, and I think that was about it. Maybe one other item. It was $7.82 because the eggs were only like $1.80 a carton for the ones that I happened to buy, and a can of biscuits is very expensive, like $3.99 or something like that. So that might have been all I bought, because my husband makes his own breakfast for the week. He cannot, there's no restaurants or places for him to grab food or anything while he's at work. And he only has 30 minutes and he's 30 minutes away from anything. So they have to bring breakfast and lunch to work. And so he'll make his own egg and sausage scramble. Well, not scramble, but he cooks it in a muffin tin and then cooks his own biscuits, and then makes a egg sausage biscuit little sandwich, and he takes 2 every morning to work. And then like this week he's making chili, so he made a whole thing of chili for the week, divided in 4 containers because he only works 4 days a week, and that's what he did there. The next thing we have is a Meijer pickup order for the week. I had meats, but there were some other items that I needed, staples that we wanted for the house. $187.77 for that. And then I spent $98.67 on Amazon. And yes, it is grocery. 67. And I kind of have a list here. So on Amazon, I had 12 cans of red dark kidney beans that go with the chili that my husband likes. And when I looked at the breakdown cost of 12 cans and compared it to my grocery store, it was actually cheaper, and it gets delivered to my house. So why not? There you go. And then my husband likes the Carol Shelby's chili mix, and I got a package of 8 boxes for making his chili. That'll last me most of this winter. I do this every year. I'll buy one of these, maybe 2, depending on how much he eats during the winter time. And fall's coming and cooler weather, and he kind of likes that for work. So there's that. And then I take D3, K2, me and my husband both, and then uric acid as well. And these are supplements that I buy, and I bought that. And then the grocery store did not have the toothpaste I wanted, and Amazon had a 3-pack, and it was cheaper. And so I went ahead and bought the 3-pack. So I really stocked up on a lot of things for this $98.67, but I won't have to buy them for several months. So hopefully, because I had the money now, it will help offset the cost of groceries for the next few months, and household, including supplements. I include supplements, beauty supplies, not that I buy a lot of beauty supplies, but you know, all those kind of things. If you can buy it in the grocery store, I include it in this area. And then I had to go back and spend $13. I'm trying to remember what that was. Oh, I know what that was. I was having a difficult day on Monday. I have neuropathy in my hands and feet, and I have some odd sensations, and some supplements help with that, which is why I have all these different supplements that I pick up and buy. And these were 2 bottles of magnesium supplements, and my husband went and picked that up, thinking, we thought maybe that would help, because I always put magnesium lotion on my feet at night with the sensations, and it helps that. But this one sensation was just, it's so weird. It was in my big toe, and it was like a tickly itch sensation, creepy crawly in the toe. And I've had them in my feet, but they don't last very long. This one lasted for like 24 hours, and I was so desperate. So I went ahead and added the magnesium supplement to my daily routine, and as well as the lotion. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully it's not too much magnesium. I don't think it is, so I'm not too worried about it. But it does help, and it stopped. So thankfully, because I almost went to the emergency room. It was driving me crazy so bad. I had rubbed my toe raw, just putting pressure on it, trying to make it stop, and it just would not do it. I forgot to check these off, so let's go back and do that. I was a desperate person that day. All right, so now I'm going to move on to restaurants. We'll total these up in just a minute. Restaurants is over here. Usually Friday, Saturday is our restaurant days. And I have Papa John's. We all ate that. It was the first time we sat down and watched Ahsoka. We loved it. And we'll watch the next episode this Friday. And we'll just watch one a week all the way up until Loki. And then when Loki starts on Disney Plus, we'll watch Loki. And I'm excited for that because, you know, that crazy character just cracks me up. All right. McDonald's. My sons didn't want what me and my husband and my father-in-law had for lunch. So there was a McDonald's next door. I ran over and got them something. And then there's a local place called Crisps in the hometown my husband grew up in, and it's just like a landmark area, and every time we come into town we pick up lunch, and yeah, it's really good. Great memories there. So $31.85 for 3 people, and that wasn't too bad, but it's like a old time, you know, ice cream, yogurt, and custard kind of burgers and fries and chicken joint. You know, you would imagine it's probably been there since the 50s or 60s. So it's a drive-in. You drive in, you go up to a window, pick it up, and take it to your car. You can eat there. You can take it home, whatever. Things like that. And there's a park across the street, so that's kind of cool. Here is where I overspent on miscellaneous, emotional spending, retail therapy, and just there's a lot of backstory going on here, so I'm not going to go in the details of that, but I just gave into I was watching somebody's video, and I like watching flip throughs of stickers and stuff. I typically don't buy them, but I was in a mood and in a bad place at this point in time, and I saw them, and I'm a sucker for fall stickers, anything with the fall colors and the fall vibes and stuff like that, and I love them. And this company had made a really good sticker collection and some sticker books, and then I bought a whole bunch of washi, which I don't know why I did, because I rarely use washi that's not in a kit. And yeah, I just spent, as you can see, I spent twice. So the first time I spent was $68.21, and then a couple hours later, after I bought that, the Planny Thing is the company, their new fall collection dropped, and everything was just gorgeous, and I bought every single new item in the collection, and that was $118.59. And my husband goes, I think I get to spend a little extra money too if you're going to spend extra. And I claim this like as my anniversary gift to myself. And He's like, well, I get to buy one too. I'm like, okay, just let me know when you're ready. And so he just shook his head like, I know you were hurting that day. I get it. And he's so sweet. And I love the fact that he understands me and these things happen. He knows I won't put us in bad situation, but at the same time, he knows really shouldn't have done this, but it happened and it's okay. And we'll just deal with it as we go. So there is that. And then we have gasoline. And so we put gas in my car, which I'm going to have to put soon. $39.01 just to top off to make the gas tank full. I think we still had like over half a tank, but I wanted to make sure I had a full tank before I left, so I wouldn't have to stop on the way home and get gas in the dark on the way back. So it just made life a little bit easier. And then my husband needed to put gas in his Jeep, and that was $41.80. And there's that. We had no bills that went to the credit card. Oh no, we have one bill. I do apologize. Dr. Odell, we went to the chiropractor, and this list prepares me for two different things. It prepares me for the weekly check-in and then what I owe the credit card. So this is part of owing the credit card. Oops. Yeah. That was the only bill highlighted in blue in this section over the name that went to the credit card. Everything else came straight from the checking account, so I don't have to worry about any of the other bills. That was the last credit card bill that was charged. So there we go. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, unbudgeted. I almost forgot that one. Unbudgeted. And unbudgeted here was for my son. And I have to take him to pick up his glasses today. We all went to Vision Works on Monday, and he has Medicaid, but what they cover was crap. I mean, plastic lenses, plastic frames, just crap. It would have been scratched and damaged, and I couldn't get any add-ons because then it would null and void and we would have to pay out of pocket anyway. So they gave me the best deal they could out of pocket, and gave me some discounts that Vision Works kind of has in their system. And I had to pay $100 for that, which was fine. He pays rent, and I'm going to take care of him. And he could have paid out of the money he's been saving in his wallet or in his bank account, which he gets $140 a month out of his SSI that he gets to keep. He is autistic. He does get SSI, and he is independent. So it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, he's too important not to spend money on. So I did buy the glasses, and my husband was like, yeah, absolutely. So he's going to be taken care of. So let's go ahead and do these totals so that we can put these totals on the weekly check-in. I'll move this over here and do that. Okay, I am back. So I have my totals over here. We did $378.08 in grocery household, way over what I budgeted for the month. I did adjust my budget for September. Hopefully it will be enough. I'm going to have to kind of ring that in again. Some of that could have been previous first part of the month. Too much stocking up, things like that. The next thing I have is restaurants. Because we were out on the road, we did get a little bit extra eating out, and this month was our anniversary, so we did have one big anniversary dinner that we spent $71, which we normally would not have done. It was $118.71 for this week. And then miscellaneous, which is all me, retail therapy or online therapy. I don't know what to call it. $186.80 is what I spent on a bunch of washi and sticker, which was ridiculous, but I did. And then that $100 for my son's glasses that he definitely needed. Thankfully, we definitely have the money for that. The hard part for me is because we're consumer debt free and we do pay off our credit card every week, any extra money, I really want to spend it instead of save it because we have a fully funded emergency fund for 6 months of salary. I'm sorry, 8 months of salary, and just so many other things. And we have enough money for upcoming that we can save for our next vacation in November for a week. And I don't know, I'm not wanting to deal with not having as much money in a couple years, because we don't know what kind of job my husband's going to get, if he's going to get any. And if he doesn't, we're not going to make a whole lot of money. I'm sure he will. He'll find something. But I don't know. It's one of those things I'm struggling to deal with, and I don't want to deal with it, so I spend. And so that's kind of the mode I'm in. I'm praying my way through it. I hope I can get through this, but we'll see. So let's total these numbers up. I have my red pen handy so that we can put down the negatives. 142.05 minus the 378.08, and that gives us a negative $236.03. And this is for the entire month. So this is what we went over. $1,500 plus this amount. That's so 15 plus the 236.03, and we spent 1736.03 for the entire month, which is way more than I ever have usually, unless there was like some kind of event I was buying food for, like a picnic or some, some kind of something. I don't know. That was a lot of money, and I'm not sure where all that was going. And how I was overspending in this category, because I typically try to stay within the number. 79.19 minus the 118.71 in restaurants. We are negative by 39.52. That's not too bad, in the sense that we had that one eating out category, or dinner with the anniversary dinner. We only went overboard by $39.52. So I'm not that upset about that because of that dinner. Miscellaneous, 283.28 minus the 186.80 that I shouldn't have spent. I still have 96.48, mainly because a lot of the stuff I bought, including stickers, went to unbudgeted and not to miscellaneous. So it just depends on how I interchange unbudgeted and miscellaneous a lot. It just depends on how I decide to budget for the month. And then we have $100 here. I never budget for unbudgeted with my son's glasses, and there is that. So this is where we're negative this month. And I have paid all these things. I have made the payment to the credit card, and I still have money left over. So now these numbers, plus what I keep track of that are not these four, because I actually track 6, but I only look at 4 here, mainly because gas and copay I'm not too overboard with, but gas I was overboard with because of some getting gasoline for the lawnmower for this year. So yeah, I don't know. Just overspent and didn't know things were happening. So here is the Paycheck 3. Now I get to transfer numbers over. And I just need the actuals for Paycheck 3, which was the last week, and week 5. And I can get some of these from here, and then I'll get the rest from my notes. So grocery household here, as you can see, I have the same numbers as far as how much the budget was, but I also included gasoline and copay, and I have my notes for that. So I did spend actual. There we go. So these are the numbers. These are the totals. Let's go ahead and do this. And so last time when I did this budget on Paycheck 3 last week, I thought I might have $368.89 left over. That is not the case. I've already written in what the actual is, and we're going to work that process out. I had to make an income adjustment of $69.92, which is almost the same amount as HelloFresh. It's 1 penny off. And I did get 1 penny less in salary here, so there's that. And I brought over a negative number. Now, I know exactly what's sitting in the bank account, so I just adjusted the numbers from here to make them fit what the bank account says, because that's all that really matters. If I screwed up the math along the way, it's the bank account that matters, not the math at that point. And especially if you're closing out and you're putting what's left over into savings like I am, that would make sense. So let's go ahead and put the numbers to work here and just use the totals that I have because I know the answer. I'm kind of doing algebra, backwards working this, not a big deal. I do this occasionally and sometimes, you know, you can be a few pennies off or a few dollars off, but if you're really off like hundreds of dollars or something, then you may want to think of how you're budgeting or planning. It may not be working for you. So, but yeah, so I have $2,552.35. That was my husband's salary. It was already a pending deposit when I made this budget, so I knew what that was. I did subtract, and this was in my spreadsheet, $456.63. I did have to make an adjustment in my spreadsheet, so that was wrong somewhere too. And I subtracted that, and I'm going to add the $69.92. Okay, so this is my new balance to make everything work right. Not sure where my numbers went wrong, but it did. $2,165.64. Again, I already know what's in my checking account, so I'm just kind of backwards engineering and making it fit, and this is how I'm making it fit. All right, these all came out. I transferred $171. I paid the Dr. Odell. We transferred the sinking funds, transferred my husband's personal money, and then the tithe came out automatically. So we have $2,165.64 minus the $1,133.44. And then, oh, I shouldn't have done that yet. So we know how much this is. And so now I need to get the actuals for the variable because they're obviously not this number anymore. So let's total this up. So that was $864.40. Hopefully the math works out. It did earlier. We'll see. Oh, nervous now. All right, now I can take the actual income total of how much money is left over in my bank account based on these numbers. $2,165.64 minus the $1,133.44 and minus $64.40. Whew. This is what I have in my bank account, $167.80. Whew, I was hoping that worked out. That was a lot of math this morning, trying to get this all totaled up. So that is my paycheck 3. That is my final number for the monthly budget. And this is what I'm actually going to transfer into savings when September 1st hits. I don't want my bank account to be at zero. My buffer is always assigned to savings in the checking account, so anything left over at the end of the month will go into that. It's a money market account. I use it for vacation fund, like big vacation funds where we're gone a week or more. And so this will add to our upcoming trip in November. It's the same place I keep our an emergency fund, where I put my Roth IRA. All that money that I'm transferring out to save for other things, it goes into the money market account. So, okay, editing Lisa here. I forgot to insert the total of all these things. I just went through and closed out the budget, but I didn't tell you the total of what I owed on the credit card, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So we're going to add up all these amounts and what I need to pay the credit card back. And once I pay the credit card, it will bring it back to a zero balance that I owe, and I won't owe any interest. So I love doing this every week, and I like sharing that with you. So let's go ahead and do that. That is $934.40. And I will show you my transaction log, or my spending tracker, I guess I should call it, because that's what the sticker says, of how much I had to pay the credit card off, or pay the credit card to pay it off for this week and to close out the month. So I am happy. There's the payment. I've already made the payment. Same number, $934.40 is paid on the credit card, bringing it back to $24,000 and zero. This here, doing the weekly check-in and finding out this balance on the credit card, and having this tracker where I can see the available credit change, that is what brings me back every time to make sure there's nothing being balanced forward or charges being left on the credit card that could potentially have interest charged to it. So I haven't had interest charged in 3 years. It took me 2 years of using my debit card alone to do this, to train myself to do this. Because when you use your debit card, you can only use the cash you have and there's nothing else. After 2 years of doing that or more, I transitioned everything slowly, just a few $100s a month at first. And if I was paying that off good, then I would add something else. And then finally at one point, I'm like, I could put everything on here and it's not a big deal, and I can definitely do it. But it took years of training and discipline. So I don't recommend it for everyone, but for those that can and want to do that, they can. And we do have a rewards card, which gives us points. Hopefully by Christmas, we'll have $1,000 worth of points and we'll cash that in. And there will be our Christmas. I do have money I'm funding for Christmas, but this would be on top of it. So I'm excited about that. And back to the video. So as I said before, I was going to go ahead and show you what the monthly look like. I fill it out at the beginning of every month, and I had to do some adjustments, and sometimes that happens. So if you want to stick around and see that, that's what I'm going to do now. If not, that was the weekly check-in. That's all I have for you, and that is going to be the number transferred. Here is, nope, wrong page. Here we go. Here is my monthly budget. So this is what it looks like. Here I covered up these totals. I've already told you the actuals, so I can take these off now. I didn't know how I was going to explain this to you guys, but those same numbers, this is what it ended up total at the end of the month. Here's all the income. I took the rent, dividend, and other off paycheck 1, 2, and 3 here on these pages here as the other, and any adjustments I made, I included it here. And so I use an erasable pen by Frixon, my favorite product. Absolutely love it because I can go back and erase and rewrite and make sure the numbers are correct. And so this one increased quite a bit. My son's rent, usually it just has $774.02, but then I added money and checks came in earlier this month. One by Geico for us turning in our certificate on our security system to get a discount. It was $61 discount for the year. And then we had our escrow, we had too much money in our escrow, so they refunded us with a check. And that was $790.42 or something like that. And so all those total together was this number. Everything else pretty much stayed the same, except for this one salary was 1 penny less. Not a big deal. Total for the month, income, $10,912.81. I put a 0 here. I didn't mean to, because I still had one HelloFresh that I had to incorporate, so I just moved it over here so I wouldn't have to keep erasing, and I don't know, I confused myself so bad. So these numbers are $5,563.31, and this number here of my actuals, which we just finished up with water, which was a little bit more because of we filled up a pool, and so we were paying for that, and it was just a backyard pool, and used extra water for that. And then the electric went up a little bit, and then here's the spending categories, and that's where I got $1,700 for grocery household and just over $500 for restaurants. Miscellaneous, I was under $100. Gasoline, I was way over, and then copay was way under, and then unbudgeted was way over by $450. And then we did pay for my son's health insurance. I keep just going back and forth on whether we're going to keep this or not. And we said September we're not going to pay it. And then now, when it was time to make the call, my husband and I could not do it. I know it's spending a lot of money, but the care we get and the coverage we get if something big happened, I know between TRICARE and Medicaid, a lot will be covered. I mean, this will eventually drop when he turns 26, and he's turning 25 this year, so he has 1 year left on it, starting in December. And I don't know, we may hold on to it for a while, we may not. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep including it in the budget, but we will see. It might be something where I will do it separate and I'll just lower how much we're getting in rent, or I'll leave it on. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me what you think. I'm just afraid to just have Medicaid only, especially after hearing the crappy glasses he was going to get. Even though our insurance doesn't cover it, we don't have him under an eye care. He's just under medical. It just made us nervous. So there you go. And then that deposit, $790.47. I immediately took the money from the escrow that we got back and transferred into the money market account. And then I added back in this HelloFresh that I forgot earlier in the month. So $5,181.70 was my actual variable. Put that together and subtract that from the income. I have $167.80, which is what my actual bank account says is sitting in there right now. That is going to savings. I do have like a tracker. I'll be showing all the things today. I have a savings tracker here. This is my money market account. This is just a regular savings account. You will see coming up soon that starting next month on the 1st, we'll be paying for a Christian counseling again. If you've seen my past videos, past few years over COVID and before we came here last year, we were seeing a Christian counselor, me and my husband, because we are Christians and we want to have a healthy marriage and healthy relationship. And after 27 years, you really need someone to talk to sometimes. So he was because he was military and gone a lot, there's a lot of transitions that happen. And he does have PTSD. And our biggest thing is mental health. And if you don't know, I think September might be a suicide awareness month. If not, we definitely have a suicide awareness month. But I want to protect my veteran at all costs to make sure he's mentally and physically healthy as possible. So we do counseling to ensure that those thoughts, those racing thoughts, those tendencies or anything do not interfere with his life. And he went through a lot of things, great things in his time in service, but there are a lot of things that were difficult and hard to process, and now that he's out, he's processing a lot more because he has so much more downtime. So we want to make sure our marriage stays healthy. The VA takes care of him with that part of mental health, but also in our marriage and communication, mental health is really, really important. So we took a year off from counseling and we're going back into it. We always choose Christian counselors because we're Christian, and we want it to align with our faith, and we're trying a new person, so hopefully that will work out. And we're going to use this tithe savings. So when we first moved, we weren't tithing to a church, but I had the money and I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know where it would go. And God just kind of laid it on both of our hearts, just put in savings for right now. And then when this came up and we were open to going back into counseling again, God's like, use your tithing to pay for it. So this is what we're going to use to pay for several sessions. This will cover several sessions. So we already have the money, which is such a blessing, and I'm so excited about that. And we don't have to think about it. So if we charge the credit card, we just pay it from this account, and that's fine. So this is just a general savings account we've had for a long time. And then up here, the money market account, like I said, the emergency fund, the Roth, our big amount of vacation. I started out last year when we first moved here, $10,000. It's down to $3,600. So that'll cover our hotels for Tennessee, which is just a few hours from our house, and then I think we're going to Pigeon Forge, and then enough for some activities. It's in November, so we're excited about that, cooler weather and stuff. And then I also paid out of this home vacation fund, Miller Tire, if you saw that before, and then any other vacation like around here. We went to Boonesboro Fort and just spent whatever we wanted there and had some fun. And then my husband wanted an item from Lowe's. I think he got an edger, and then I made that deposit. So this is my transaction log for the money market account. So that is where I keep the numbers on there. And then here's my sinking funds here. I only have one thing come out. Orkin happened. They charged I have them on my checking account. So they charged the checking account, and then I transferred the money back into checking, and not a big deal. And yeah, and I have all these balances to cover all these important things to us. And these some of these things are old that I don't have, like a business license or things like that, because I'm not running a business right now. But I do have a channel, this channel, and another channel, so I use Canva for that, and Epidemic Sound for this one. So I have subscriptions that happen once a year, and I just kind of use the sinking funds to build them up all year, and then pay for them through this account. And every few months or so, I'll go through and say, do I really need this, or do I really want this subscription anymore? And if it's not doing or being what I need it to be, then I don't worry about it. And I stop funding it, and I cancel it, and I move on. This is how you don't lose track of subscriptions and things like that. So there's that. So this is how I budget. This is all these sheets are very important to me, and they work out. The month of August is closed. I keep scripture in here, goals, important things that I'm looking for, my monthly, and then the paychecks. You guys get to see all this. The only other part I have in here that I don't show very often is I have a spending tracker here, but I also have a spending log. Okay, friends, that is it. This is everything. My budget is done for August, and I'm ready for September. I've already set up for September. I've posted a monthly budget, and I have already put up my Paycheck 1 budget. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.